Fellow armsmen, I ask you, will you follow me tonight to break their spine and reclaim what once was mine? Those cravens backstabbed me, deceived me. Never shall I tolerate their crimes again. Now let the hunt begin. Oh, 7,000 souls scared and daunted, such a tale of woe. Not too long ago, this village was a golden scene of hope. Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our Gloria to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order. I am the light bringer. Fellow warriors, I ask you, should my campaign come to an end? There's way more to avenge. Oh, 15 million souls living in this realm without much hope. Not too long ago, this kingdom was a golden state of hope. Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our Gloria to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order. I am the light bringer.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the PlayStation Showcase 2023. Something like that. Should we go with that? Just rolling with it? Yeah? Okay, cool. Awesome. This is the life now. And if you're like, what the shit am I looking at? Look, if you haven't seen the PlayStation Showcase yesterday, we will talk about that shit for a little bit. It will actually be a big part of the show. I don't even know if we are playing video games today, to be honest, because I want to talk about it. Then also we have the Warhammer Skulls coming up later with Raoul Cooley, who is doing the whole showcase, and that is at 12 p.m. ET, and of course we will watch that live. How are you doing, folks? Hello there, Tasty Lemons. Hello there, Tarts. Hello there, everyone else lurking in the shadows, and welcome in. Welcome in. Oh boy. What can I say? I was awake till late night. You know how you know that the showcase was not doing well? Do you know how you know that? when you are posting reaction videos to trailers of that showcase and nobody gives a shit. I think my Metal Gear Solid reaction video has 12 clicks. Nobody gave a shit. Like, it was fire and forget. Nobody wanted to see any reactions to it. Like, even the big reaction YouTubers are like, anybody? Hello? Anyone? No? Oh shit. Oh boy, well, we will talk about that when we're getting to that. How are you doing, folks? It is Thursday. As I said, I'm not sure how much gameplay we have today. But then again, who cares? Because most people watch my talk show and not my gameplay show, which is kind of funny. I would like to continue Warhammer 40K Boltgun. But again, 12 p.m. we have the Warhammer Skulls showcase. Then I have to do some video stuff again. I'm also pretty much behind on my other channels. I have to do some videos there. Technically speaking, I have no time for streaming. No, I would just make it work over the time. But yeah, it's just like, you know, things. Lots to do. It's like, it's this, you know, it's the release month of some highly anticipated games, especially for me. Diablo is around the corner. Hey, Tiny. And I have other things also going on. It's just like, and then you were doing your reaction videos to some of the videos where you actually thought like they would have videos or have views, and then you have nothing. You have nothing for wasted time. It's like, oof. Look, I want to make something very clear here. It's just, I could have used the time from yesterday to basically focus on my Mole Under Management channel and my Mole RP channel, which actually does get the recognitions, right? So yeah, it's a bit of that, but that's just me complaining. Let's not do that. Screw it. Let's not do that. But yeah, there will be videos for the Mole Under Management channel. There will be videos for the Mole RP channel, especially now that we are getting very close to the Diablo 4 release. There will be a bunch of Diablo 4 videos coming up in the next few days on the channel. I have to finish up the builds, the leveling builds, and then I want to make some videos before the release as well. And it's just like slowly building it up. So there will be a lot of content there. We will continue, of course, the Mole Under Management channel. Tomorrow we might actually check out what's it called? Railway Empire 2. Yes, that might actually be something I'm checking out. But yeah, if you want to see my reactions to the PlayStation Showcase, the whole thing is live on this channel. And there are also some chosen trailers, not all of them, but some chosen reaction moments on my Mole Reacts channel. Like Alan Wake 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, the Spider-Man thing. Like, there's definitely some stuff here and there. Yeah. But again, we will talk about the PlayStation Showcase in just a few. What else? Did I do anything else? No, I did not. Like, since you have seen me yesterday, I was just doing cutting videos, uploading videos, which nobody watched. Yeah, no, I didn't do really anything else yesterday. I did that till I did go to bed. What else? Anything else? No. I don't really have anything else I want to talk about. There's nothing going on. Yeah. No. Not really. Don't have anything. So I would say let's jump into the gaming news. Let's do this. The news! Man, we are quick today. Yes, the news. We have a few gaming news beyond the Xbox showcase. So we'll go through that. Then we'll watch the Lord of the Rings Gollum review. And whoa. Whoa. Apparently it is where to start? It's a trip. It's a trip, apparently. And not a good one. So I'm actually looking forward to the whole to the review we will watch. Should be fun. Alrighty. Let's talk about some gaming news here which are not related to any of the Sony stuff, and then afterwards we will do a pretty quick deep dive on all the things Sony. First things first. What do we have? Oh yeah. So Embracer Group tumbled yesterday when they also notified shareholders that this is absolutely insane. So they had apparently a pretty big deal being in the last stretches, and as of the day of the shareholder meeting, they had a $2 billion thing planned. They had something really big planned. It was a $2 billion deal. And then a day afterwards, the other party just bailed and left Embracer in the dust. Which is kind of crazy. If you're asking who did they had to deal with, we do not know. We don't know. We have absolutely no clue. But the CEO of Embracer was apparently pretty pissed because it literally happened a few hours before the whole showcase they had, the shareholder showcase. And he was apparently pretty pissed about it and not happy. And then I'm like, okay, listen, Lars, you're a CEO of a company. You look like somebody who does businesses for quite a big deal of your life. You had a $2 billion deal built on trust. There was no contract, no nothing. It was all word of mouth and trust. Dude, I'm sorry, but what the fuck? I'm not taking any sponsorship deals. And we are talking about meager hundreds of dollars, sometimes $1,000, something like that, because I'm a super small channel in comparison. And I'm not taking any sponsorship deals without any hard contract. I sign, they sign. And then when I really feel like it, I send it to my lawyer. And he looks over it. Like, what? And you were telling me you had a $2 billion deal, and the only thing you did was, well, trust me, bro? What? What? I don't even know where to begin, man. It's just like, nah, man. That is a very, very bad thing. You know what I feel a little bit? The moment Embracer will run into some hardship. Like, excuse me, I was awake for a long time yesterday. Now keep in mind, Embracer has now over 850 IPs, 130 studios, and 200 games in development. Those numbers are absolutely insane. And it reminds me a little bit of a company they have actually bought the name of, called THQ. THQ tried similar things, and they crashed and burned at some point. Because the moment they started to have some issues, to have not the buying/selling power anymore for some of the games, all of the mass producement of video games just did fall apart because the cash flow was just not adequate. So reading this is like giving me some hard THQ flashbacks, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. So, make contracts. Like, what the shit, dude? So, this is interesting. This is an update on Prince of Persia, the Sands of Time remake. You probably remember that it was revealed in 2021 to very, very mixed reviews, and then it was supposed to come out 4 months after the reveal, and then they pushed it back into 2022, and then they delayed it indefinitely, and they also told the two development studios, Ubisoft, two Indian studios, I forgot their name. Was it Ubisoft Bangladesh and something else? I'm sorry. That they are basically not working on the game anymore, and that this is now going to the Canadian Ubisoft studio. Yeah, to the original Ubisoft studio who did Prince of Persia. And as it stands right now, with 2023, they updated people on what is going on with the game. It is still being worked on, and this is now where it gets really interesting. In terms of the development stage, and I quote here, "We are in conception right now." Whoa. That game was ready to come out in 2021. They had a release date for it. And now it's back in the conception phase? Yo. We will not see this game for the next 3 or 4 years. Now, granted, the last time we saw the game was this, and to be honest, I'm not really mad about that. I am not really mad about the idea that we are not seeing this game for quite some time. But it's not even that. Like, it was a remake of a game which, all things considered, was one of the Prince of Persia games which are slightly forgettable in my opinion. I would have loved to see also some gameplay remarks here. Like, yeah, but now they're back in conception phase, which means that game has been rebooted and is not coming out in the next few years, which is a common trend for our good friend Ubisoft. God, they love to reboot their games. Like, it's kind of crazy how Ubisoft became this innovative game publisher with amazing IPs, interesting new ideas, which were sometimes hit or miss, okay, but interesting ideas. And then they nailed Assassin's Creed. And they nailed Far Cry. And they saw two formulas they just reuse in all their games over and over and over again, like an infinite loop, on top of some microtransactions which are built into the gameplay loop. And now Ubisoft is this walking husk of no ideas, corporate gaming at its finest, and just you look at Ubisoft and remember how especially Ubisoft games back in the day were always regarded as colorful games. Rayman, Beyond Good and Evil, like very colorful games. Like everything was always very colorful, not edgy, how they're trying to do now with, what was it, X-Defiant? No, what was the name? X-Defiant, like this fake colorfulness. I'm looking at Ubisoft games and I'm going, wow, you are forgettable, man. Like, there's not even a sliver of innovation left in your games anymore. And phew. Yeah. It's kind of sad. Like the whole joke with, hey, look, it's a Ubisoft game. I know it's a joke, and I know that joke is pretty much a meme at this point, but it is true. It is true. Like, oh look, it's a Ubisoft game. That's the reaction you mostly have. And yeah. Alrighty. With that said, there was everything we have gaming news wise, which is not completely focused on the PlayStation Showcase, which we will have in just a minute. But before we do this, I have to break your spirit. I have to break your spirit. If you are happy right now, I have to I have to make you suffer a little bit. Yes. Hey, Drakodai, how are you doing? How have you been, man? Good to see you. Good afternoon to you, Tipset. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. But let me break your spirit with the review of Lord of the Rings Gollum. Gollum. What the shit?
Today we will discuss Gollum. Before we begin, I would like to make clear one thing. Contrary to popular belief, I do not like making videos like this, especially when it comes to smaller games from smaller teams operating on smaller budgets. I actually work pretty hard to help elevate the work of indie developers and AA projects on my channel, because I think a lot of the best creativity that this industry has to offer happens in those segments.
Yes.
So I work hard to put a spotlight on that stuff, but at the same time, I also think it's my job to warn people when something is really bad, especially when that thing isn't selling at the $20 price point, or even the $40 price.
What is that graphics?
But it's going to market at $60 for current gen consoles. At that point, it's like, okay, you are fair game. That price point brings with it a certain expectation of quality and content, and let me tell you right now, Gollum does not come within a Middle-earth mile of meeting any of those expectations. What really tipped me over the edge, though, were the deluxe edition upgrades for this, aka the Precious Edition. If you give this publisher another $10, you get Sindarin voiceover for the elves. Otherwise, they just speak Westron. I've never heard of a game paywalling lore-accurate dialogue, but okay. That $10 also gets you a lore compendium, which is literally a menu of lore entries, like every other game just has, without charging you for it. This is how it's formatted. It looks like placeholder. When you click on lore items, you haven't unlocked yet. Nothing happens. When you click on items you have unlocked, it's this weird scrolling text at the bottom only, leaving the space at the top unused. It's also written very amateurishly, full of grammatical errors and very odd wording choices. Like, listen to this. Having betrayed his old and noble family in Ithilien, the Candleman has been in Sauron's service for a long time. Nevertheless, he still remembers a life with his family, sometimes yearning for it. Full stop. But while he's being intimidated and controlled by Sauron's totalitarian system, turning his back on the Dark Lord is not an easy choice to make.
I can exactly tell you what happened here. This is a German studio. They didn't have the money to get professional translation done, so they hired me to do the translation, and this is actually me. Yeah. By the way, this is no joke, at least not the part with the German studio. It is a German studio, and they probably developed this in German.
Now, would you describe Sauron's rule as totalitarian? I don't know, seems a bit mechanical to me, a bit poli-sci 101. How about malevolent? How about tyrannous? What about anything other than totalitarian? Because in a game based on one of the greatest literary works in history, using words that don't take the fun out of things kind of matters. Finally, there's one other thing you'll get as part of the Precious Edition, emotes. A package of 6 emotes for Gollum. You press down on the D-pad and he will do something. Here's a look at one of the emotes.
Or Gollum? What is this graphics, man?
That's it. That's what they put behind a paywall. It was at that moment, sitting there watching Gollum awkwardly chase an elephant beetle, that I remembered that this version of the game that I was playing was $70 US. And I was like, alright, I should probably warn people about this video game. Let's start by talking about what this game actually is, because I guarantee you it's absolutely not what you expect. Gollum is a largely original story. It piggybacks off the events of the books to deliver a new and hopefully non-canon chapter in Tolkien's epic saga. Gollum has been seized by the Dark Lord's forces, and after his torture and interrogation is thrown into the dungeons of Barad-dûr. From there, we know that Gollum will eventually escape, heading westward to meet up with Frodo and Sam so that he can Sherpa them into Mordor. This game is meant to tell the story of that escape and that westward journey. I can speak to the escape part because I've played that, but I can't speak to the rest because after finishing around half of this game, I just can't bring myself to play any more of it. So we all know Gollum. We've either read the books or we've seen the movies multiple times. Gollum is iconic. He's this wriggly, slimy, loathsome wretch. He is meek and pitiful and disarming in one moment, and in the very next he is dangerous and formidable, turning his surprising strength and cunning against his foes. He's intelligent, but he's ultimately a primal creature, all of his higher functions ground down by his obsession with the ring. Now he thrives in the darkness. He hunts to survive. He gets by on instinct, and he's utterly alone because no relationship matters to him except one, his relationship to the ring. So if I was to say to you that there's a Gollum game coming that tells the story of his escape from Barad-dûr and his journey westward, you'd likely have a picture in your mind of how that begins. You'd likely imagine Gollum quickly slipping through the net after his interrogation, his desire to be reunited with the ring so strong that he throws caution to the wind, attempting any and all means of escape, no matter how desperate. Not so much. Instead, at least the first half of Gollum is kind of like a life sim, where you do chores in the mines of Barad-dûr in order to ingratiate yourself to the ruler.
So why is it locked to 30?
Who himself is in the middle of some palace intrigue involving his daughter and one of Sauron's emissaries. Gollum will make friends during his time in the mines, choosing whether to eventually betray them or not. He will also breed a bird companion that will view Gollum as his father and will obey his commands. At one point, Gollum will get a human companion that he can boss around while doing chores and solving water puzzles. If it sounds like I'm exaggerating, I promise you I am not. Gollum does begin with the story of his capture by the Nazgul and his torture, culminating in his naming of Baggins and the Shire. At that point, Gollum is now a prisoner of Sauron, and he's cast into the dungeons.
Wow,
He
what is
begins
that
his life as
FPS?
a working slave. You are taken down into the pits, and your first task is given to you. It's to herd some pig things into a pen. To do this, you just run into the pen, and then climb up a wall, and then pull a switch while the pig thing waits patiently below. That's it.
Video games.
You will do this again after that, and then that's the end of that section. A job well done for Gollum. It's then on to the next chore. Miners keep dying while working in the extreme heat, and you need to go around collecting their tags. It's not clear why, but that's what you gotta do. So you essentially run around these very poorly designed levels, hoping that you stumble upon a corpse. You do this 7 times, and then you go back to your cell to sleep, like it's fucking Persona. Anyway, the next day begins and it's time for more chores. This time I have to crawl into small caves to detonate barrels. I just crawl or climb for a little bit and then I go back the way I came. I do this 3 times and then I go back to bed. There are more chores like this, one of which involves going around and pulling levers to dump slop into some slop pools. But by far the worst is this bird breeding mini game that you have to do. At one point, you're told that you need to breed a bird for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. You're not given any instruction. You just kind of have to figure it out. What you need to do is put a certain number of logs in the fire, pump the bellows a certain number of times, take an egg from the nest, prepare some weird colored liquid thing, dip the egg into the water, and then take the egg somewhere else, pull a lever, and if you've done it correctly, you get a bird. But if you've messed up any one of those steps, like putting in 1 log too many or pumping the bellows the whole thing falls apart and you need to do it all over again. So first of all, why the fuck is there a bird breeding minigame in a Gollum game? And secondly, and I cannot stress this enough, why the fuck is there a bird breeding minigame in a Gollum game? I'll tell you why. All of this is an elaborate setup for one of the worst implemented companion systems I've ever seen in a video game. At certain points, you get to control this bird that you've bred. That involves pressing up on the D-pad and then ordering them to collect things for you, like this.
Bird. Bird.
It did it. It does what we says.
It's super janky, and it's just plain weird that Gollum has a pet bird. Gollum eats birds. He doesn't father them. Anyway, it's also really poorly implemented from a gameplay perspective. At one point, I was at this section where I was just so hopelessly stuck. I was running around everywhere trying to figure out where to go next. It must have been a good 15 minutes of me running and jumping and crawling every which way I could to find my way into this room. Turns out that what the game wanted me to do was use my bird companion to steal the keys hanging on the wall. But the only way I would have known to do that would have been to notice the prompt appearing at the bottom right corner of the screen when I stood in a very specific location, alerting me to the fact that I could now control my bird companion and he could get the keys for me. Ridiculous.
Bring us that nice one. Fetch the keys.
That bird's
So
face,
all of this
man.
sucks, but the developers actually doubled down on it at one point. Eventually, after literally years spent in this prison, Gollum is now a grizzled veteran and some fresh meat arrives in his cell. Gollum decides to be nice to this person and help him survive his first day, like it's the Shawshank Redemption. Anyway, remember that herding minigame I showed you earlier? Well, you get to do that again, only this time you're commanding your new friend as he does it. Here's how that looks.
Harry,
Yes, all right.
get over there.
On my way.
I mean, where to begin with this? This is true, though. When I heard that I was going to be directing this human via the companion system to do this bird herding thing, I immediately thought to myself, oh yeah, this is going to be some good footage. Sure enough, it did not disappoint. This is actually super annoying to do, by the way. I just sat there for so long trying to figure this out. Because it turns out that you kind of need to send him to a location, but before he reaches that spot, you need to send him elsewhere. And if you do that, then the pigs will actually just run straight past him, and then they'll go into the pen and then just stare blankly at the wall while you command this peon to close the gate behind them. I just let this whole thing sit for a moment to see if anything interesting would happen, but it didn't. So I just ordered my guy to close the gate, and then I could just move on with my life.
God, the stories we heard of the development process of this game. It is sometimes really the inability.
Tough of the game, because there is other stuff, which we will get to, but these things are the defining elements of the first half of this game because of how bad they are and how out of place they feel. Who thought it would be a good idea to get Gollum doing any of this stuff? This really feels as though the developer had a different Middle-earth themed game in mind, perhaps one starring like a random human or a hobbit that somehow gets imprisoned. If you dropped anyone else into these gameplay scenarios, it starts to make sense. But Gollum breeding birds and herding pigs while making friends with his cellmates and trying to win over an overseer embroiled in Machiavellian machinations? Like, what is any of this? I guess we should probably talk about story now. So as I said, this is an original story written in collaboration with a number of Tolkien experts, apparently. Again, you really imagine Gollum to be a game focused on Gollum's very bleak, very violent path out of captivity and towards the Ringbearer, but it's kind of not. A lot of the story is actually about someone called the Candleman, who is this fallen noble who serves Sauron, and he has a daughter who seems to be betraying him every chance she gets, and milling about for some reason or another is someone called the Mouth of Sauron. All these people talk to each other all the time, and Gollum kind of just sits there as they do so, since the Candleman kind of adopts Gollum as his personal lackey. It's, again, just so out of place. Why is palace intrigue a feature of this game? Gollum is not a character that is meant to be in those settings. He is not meant to be traipsing through gilded halls, eavesdropping on statecraft. He's meant to be in caves, throttling orcses and eating sushi while whispering obsessively to himself about his precious. It doesn't help that the technology supporting this storytelling is frankly terrible.
Oh my
Here's your
God.
average cutscene in Gollum.
They
There is better here. Frail man can tell us.
I have the feeling they started this. I mean, we know that development of this game started a decade ago or something. And I assume that they tried to do some cell shading or whatever, and then decided to go more realistically while technology moved forward.
Remember the dwarves I mentioned earlier? One of them told me something once. Those buildings up there above the bridge, see? He had to build them. Dangerous work. But after a while, he knew where the guards watched. He'd steal redstones and hide them in a cave near the bridge. Just one stone each day, so the guards wouldn't notice.
Why?
Why do you think?
What happened?
One day he slipped and fell.
That's not a nice story.
Oh my God!
Okay, a lot to take in here. Did you see the part where the old man's beard flipped upwards suddenly whenever he kind of looked upwards? Did you catch the part where his mouth stopped moving, even though he was still talking, apparently? Did you catch the moment when Gollum's facial animations ended and his entire face falls flat and his pupils suddenly dilate? How about the graphical glitching on Gollum's head? This is far from the only example, mind you. Facial animations in this game are terminally bad. Some of the worst I've seen from any modern game. I mean, look, take a look at this.
What's the secret?
No, forget about it.
Has it food, eh? Has it nice fish hidden away?
It's impossible to take this story seriously on its own merits because it feels like the wrong story to be telling for this character, for Gollum. It's dialogue-centric for a character that is ultimately very physical, defined by what he does more than what he says. But it becomes downright farcical to try to take this straight-faced story seriously when the characters themselves cannot keep straight faces. But again, the game doubles down on this. There is a dialogue minigame thing that you are pushed into whenever Gollum needs to make a decision. It's meant to mirror the tension inherent in Gollum's split personality. Here's how that plays out.
Not just us. No, not alone.
That's right. Who else? 2 detonations. 2. One on either side. We had eyes on your side. Who was on the other?
He will know. His terrible light sees right through us.
As you can see, there's not much to it. You just select options, hoping that they're the right ones to satisfy the win condition, and if you guess right, then you get to do the thing that you wanted to do, which in this instance was rat out the old man who's been helping you all along. I don't know what might have happened had I chosen a different course of action, mind you. That would involve playing through the game again to find out. I can't see people finishing this game once, let alone more than that. Let's talk now about technicals.
Ow.
So, facial animations
Huzzah.
are the only technical shortcoming in this package, unsurprisingly.
Oh.
This is the swing animation for Gollum. Death animations are often half-baked and missing visuals and sound, like this. Or this one.
They're still hot.
There is a recurring bug that sees Gollum's hair get both highlighted and pixelated like this.
Oh my god! I'm not prepared
Many
for
actions
this.
in-game do not have accompanying animations, like this one.
Let me just open this for
What
you.
is going on with his hair?
Good luck.
When exploring the world, you will often encounter frustrating invisible walls. Sometimes you'll get stuck behind those walls, like here.
Oh, goody! Goody!
Sometimes text will remain on screen that isn't meant to. The only way to remove it is to restart the game. Sometimes shit just doesn't work. Here I died, and when I reloaded the checkpoint, I could move my camera around, but nothing else worked. The only way to fix this was to restart the game. Sometimes certain in-game events don't trigger, which totally blocks your progress. Here I died because this game's camera is horrendous and I couldn't see the ledge I was about to drop into. When I reloaded, the cave door would not open and there was nothing I could do. Restarting the game did not fix this issue. I had to actually restart the entire level from the beginning. At a more foundational level, Gollum runs poorly and looks terrible while doing it. This is an Unreal game that doesn't do any kind of shader compilation. I was getting constant stuttering while playing. Some of it's so bad that I'd call it unplayable. As usual, changes in settings and resolutions did nothing to improve that. There is a very strong motion blur effect that is present at all times, and it cannot be toggled off, even on PC, which is where I reviewed the game. Even though the environments you're moving through are all fairly small, there's still a huge amount of pop-in occurring at all times. And yeah, maybe you could forgive some of this stuff if the game was a looker, right? But look at it. It looks terrible. I would remind you that they released the official recommended specs for this game. And if you want to play it at 4K, max settings, ray tracing on, they want you to have an RTX 4090 and then set DLSS to balanced. It's like, why? What is the GPU doing at that point? Because it certainly can't be working at full load to render whatever this is. All right, let's talk about gameplay. You may have noticed that to this point I have not spoken.
This is, by the way, like I know we have talked about this before, and I really have to throw this in here. This is something I feared so much with the coming of DLSS and any of the upscaling formats, really. This whole thing of, oh, you can use DLSS. That's like, what, 20 frames? Yeah, do you know how much we have to work to get 20 frames more in a video game? Let's just tell the people to use DLSS. Okay, wait, you have DLSS 3 now? Yeah, DLSS 3 and the 4090. Well, awesome. Just use that. What? But your game looks like a PS3 game. Yeah, but we would take another half a year to polish it. And to be honest, we can just use DLSS. And this is what I feared so much, man. This is what I feared so much. That DLSS is not becoming a technology which gives longevity to your video cards, but it actually is being used to just gloss over making a game run well.
Spoken about core gameplay in Golem, stuff like stealth, traversal, and combat. There's a reason for that, and it's similar to the reason that the developers have included all of these weird side activities and minigames. It's because the core gameplay itself is nowhere near strong enough to stand on its own 2 feet. So the game needs all this extra shit packed into it to distract you from how bad that core gameplay is. So what is that core gameplay? Well, firstly, there's no combat. Gollum can sneak up behind orcs if they are alone, and he can strangle them with this very odd animation.
Wants to talk about backings, does it? Where is it? Where is it now? No.
What?
However, if there is more than one
wow. You know what this reminds me of? Somebody saw the Plague Tales, utterly loved it, didn't understand a single thing what they are doing and how they are managing to take a small indie game / AA game and make it unique and make it work. And they were just like, yeah, slap some Lord of the Rings on it, slap some Gollum on it, and just copy it, but don't make it too obvious. And they completely and utterly failed at that.
Orc, or the orc is wearing a helmet, then Gollum cannot attack them and he has to avoid them. If they catch him, here's what the death animation looks like. Become invisible, it's throw rocks at things to make noises, etc. What's really bad about this is the enemy AI, which is just comical in its patrol pathing.
But
like, for example, this is one enemy that I had to get past at one point.
It's a Plague Tale, but bad. They saw the Plague Tale and they were like, holy shit, yeah. Oh my god.
So, can you stealth in Gollum? Yes, absolutely. Is it good? Absolutely not. But it's a hell of a lot better than the game's central mechanic, climbing. As soon as you begin Gollum, you're led through a sort of tutorial section, and I immediately groaned because the first thing that I saw were all these yellow lines etched into the rock. And it's like, not this again. We just did this with Jedi Survivor, which, to be fair, was fine because they often did a lot of work to make your handholds organically blend into the environment, rather than it looking like Sauron asked one of his orcs to go out there and use high-vis paint to highlight a path for Gollum.
Weird.
Yes, many games do exactly this, but I promise you,
I do not drop any frames on my end, folks. Okay, let me give me just a second here. How does that look? Maybe is it me stuttering or is it the stream? Like, what's going on? Is it YouTube screwing up? Weird. Yeah, I don't drop any frames. Okay, so the stream is falling like behind. Is that what it is? Stream. I mean, I could. Okay. I could go on another server. Like, I could just go on the backup server. How about that? Let's try that. Let's try that. Yeah, I will go to the backup server. I will be back in 10 seconds. If I'm not back in 10 seconds, do a refresh of the stream. I will be. Okay, with that said, we should be back. And this is hopefully fixed. Yeah, keep him posted if this is continuing. We are now on the new server, so maybe the Inges server is just shit. You know, who knows? But yeah, let me know, please, folks. If this continues, tell me in chat, please. Let's continue to watch the train wreck, shall we?
Gollum does it way worse. Gollum's overall moveset is pretty remarkable, actually. I mean, this guy can really jump from ledge to ledge, and he can even jump back behind him. That is a central mechanic because the game will often put your next handhold behind you, and the only way to know it's there is that you get a little prompt which will pop up in the bottom right corner of the screen, suggesting that you jump backwards.
God, the camera movement,
Gollum
man.
can wall run like a fucking Titanfall pilot. I'm not sure that's what Tolkien had in mind when he wrote Gollum, but there you have it.
Ooh,
We've already seen Gollum's exceptional talent on the high bar swing, so no need to retread that. But you know what he can't do?
Swim.
Get out of a body of water. If you fall into water, you're pretty much fucked. Like, you're kind of stuck there until you find some sort of lowered section allowing Gollum to crawl out. This is a creature that spent hundreds of years living in a watery cave, but apparently he can't hoist himself up over a 1-foot ledge. The controls in this game, utterly abysmal. One of the worst controlling games I've played in a long time. When you are traversing, the number one thing that will kill you are these controls. They are so inconsistent, Gollum randomly changing speeds pre or post jump, snapping to ledges sometimes and not others, failing to grab handholds when you clearly tell him to, not wall running when he's supposed to. It reaches the point where you just have absolutely no faith whatsoever in the core controls, and much of your progression is about experimenting to see how the controls will respond during the specific traversal challenges. You'll learn that Gollum will shorten a jump here, jump unusually far there, that he'll miss a handhold here if you don't take the jump at a certain angle, etc. It's not about controlling Gollum, it's about controlling the controls and figuring out all of the busted shit that's been crowbarred into each traversal section to make it semi-functional, so you can then either lean into or avoid all of that duct tape.
Also, what is this level design? Why does this all exist?
Like I said, I have only half finished this game. The breaking point for me was here when I had just done this really big, really annoying traversal puzzle, hoping that it would culminate in my finally escaping Barad-dûr and seeing the rest of the game. Instead, it led me from the mines of Barad-dûr into the sewers of Barad-dûr.
Cool.
Immediately, it became clear to me that I was about to do some big, elaborate water temple style puzzle where I had to raise and lower the water level. To make that even more fun, I had to babysit my new best friend, the companion who I ordered around during that herding minigame earlier. I once again had to order him to move, only this time it was across platforms once I'd raised them. He, of course, couldn't figure this out for himself. He had to rely on Gollum to tell him when to walk. At some point, I fell into the water, and I couldn't find a way back up, even though there were really low ledges that should have been easily climbable. I thought that maybe if I lowered the water again, I might be able to get out, so I tried to order my companion to flip a nearby lever. He just stood there and did absolutely nothing. And at that point, I just Alt F4'd, and I labeled that recording as, "That's enough." Because indeed, it was. So, yeah, obviously Gollum, it's just a top to bottom disaster. I don't think anyone had high hopes for this, but I don't think anyone expected it to be this bad. I mean, this had some serious marketing push behind it, right? Like a slot at Jeff Keighley's Game Awards, which is really expensive to get. We've seen tons of trailers, hands-on with select press, the works. Like a full marketing push that would have cost millions of dollars, I'd say. That sort of hype brings with it expectations. If a publisher is willing to spend that big, it probably means the game is good, right? Same thing goes for that price point. Again, if it's a $20 game, you take the good with the bad. You understand that a budget title is often going to have its fair share of problems. A $40 game, that bar is raised. You're operating in that AA category. People expect some better production value, but they'll still forgive some gameplay shortcomings and technical issues so long as the core game is good. $60? Man, you better be ready to bring it, because expectations at that price point are pretty high. And if you are going to charge $70 for what is essentially the complete version of this game, then you had better be ready for people to be really, really pissed off when they play something this unfinished, this unpolished, and this substandard. Those precious edition paywalled items alone are enough to make this feel like a real piss take, but when combined with just how bad the rest of this package is, the way this has been priced and marketed feels very deceptive and very exploitative. This is by far the worst game I have played this year, and I absolutely do not recommend it.
And he played
What do you
Redfall
get
before
for the hairy
this.
man who has everything? Something
No, how about not? Hello, Chaos. Alright, there was Gollum, and you know, I think to just, you know, give it one last amazing moment, right? Let's give it one last hooray. Let's give it one last hooray. He's taking a poop, chat.
Hello. Today we will discuss Gollum.
Holy shit. Man. Damn. He had a stroke. He had a stroke. I should take that part and just make it my alert, right? And just making an alert sound or something, and then always playing when somebody is subscribing to your channel. I said, dude, are you, like, seriously? Are you having a condition? Do you need help? Should I call 911? Like, everything alright? Holy shit. When you're getting worried about a video game character, you know something is bad. It was probably the big investor into Embracer who wanted to give Embracer $2 billion, and then they just played Gollum, and they were like, "Yeah, we are out. Sorry, man. This is the reason why we're out. We played the game, and we just realized we cannot do it." It's, by the way, it's kind of hilarious. I think I got reached out by 2 PR companies to play this game. Yep. I literally got 2 PR companies reaching out to me and were like, "We have something for you." And here's the thing. To put something in perspective, folks, I'm not getting reached out that often anymore, especially not with the ChaosMole channel. That's the reality of things. If I want something, I have to get it. I have sometimes to beg for it. And yes, I sometimes have to do even worse just to get a key. But when 2 different PR companies are reaching out to me and are like, "Hey dude, Gollum is coming out today. You wanna some early access?" Huh? Oh boy. That's you always know that's the aha. Why are you reaching out to me? Uh-oh. No, go into detail. Something unhinging your jaws. Something. But I just, it wasn't my game. Like even if it would have been, this would have been a complete disaster. This wouldn't have been my game. I'm not a platformer guy. It's not my type of games. I mean, shit, I can barely run and jump into some shooter games, leaving alone a whole game designed around the idea. So I wouldn't have taken it anyways. But again, I'm long enough now in the industry to like notice those fine little differences in behavior of people. And you always know that right now, especially as a smaller creator, something is up. Something is up here. And yeah, now we know why. Oh boy, how are you doing, Chaos? How is your day going today? Hope you have a good one. And folks, thank you so much for everyone coming out today. A quick note, I will have another showcase coming up in 3 hours. That is the Warhammer Skulls showcase with Raoul Coley, who is presenting all the things. And yeah, we'll watch the show together. I will end the stream before that, probably like 30 minutes before that. And then I will eat something super quick. I will warm up the next stream, right? And then we are watching it together. Yeah. Just so you're aware. Yep. What else? Before we are jumping into the... Oh shit! Oh shit! Is the new codex out? No. Oh fuck. that's my day for today. Was nice streaming to you folks. I see you next week, I guess, because I'm out. If you're like, huh, what is he talking about? All this dust is happening. And it's the new codex for the Thousand Suns, which I'm actually really surprised about, that they are getting like a new codex. The reality is that the Thousand Suns have been a few suns now. So I'm actually, man, that artwork looks amazing. I'm actually really hyped about that. Oh my. Oh my. Ooh. I still have to laugh. Ahriman, the omnibus. I still have to laugh about it every time I read it. Oh my god, so many new books and stuff, and that's happiness for me. Just saying. That's some really cool stuff. Okay. You have to go shopping for food, then go shopping for food, man. You have to do what you have to do. I will do it tomorrow. I will do the shopping for food and stuff tomorrow before the stream. Just saying. All right, folks. With that said, I think it is time to talk about the PlayStation Showcase from yesterday. Oh boy. If you haven't been here, quick note, we have a full reaction video, and you will also find the link down in the video description if you want to check it out. And of course you have like some specific trailer reactions from me about the whole showcase on my Mole React channel. But man, we have to talk about it. We have to freaking talk about it. Like seriously, it wasn't great. I wouldn't say it was bad, but I can definitely say it was a showcase to forget kind of deal. It was the PlayStation Showcase, not a PlayStation State of Play, to make this very clear for everyone who has missed it. What's the difference? Well, PlayStation State of Play is basically their third-party showcase with maybe an occasional PlayStation game in it. Now, a PlayStation Showcase, though, is normally first-party, and a lot of those games. Also, by the way, does anybody else want to get a new prototype now? Seeing this, can we get a new prototype game, please? Am I the only one who sees this and goes, man, we really need a new prototype, man. But it's Activision, so it will never happen. But no, just in general, it was this showcase, and look, Spider-Man was great. Gameplay, like actual interface, somebody was playing this shit. Awesome, right? Good amount of story, good amount of gameplay. We see some symbiont Venom. I don't know if actually no, it's not Venom, because it's not Brooks who is like in control of the symbiont here. So I never know what Spider-Man symbiont? Probably Spider-Man symbiont. We see some Miles going really fast. You're gonna go fast, right? Like, they have a lot to show here, and this was the last thing they showed on the showcase. Like a pretty good deep dive. The game is coming out in fall, and it's this, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I feel this. This is good. Will I play the game? No, because I wait for the PC version 5 years down the line. Yay. But nonetheless, it's like, this is good. This is good. Right? But the rest of the showcase, I think the biggest problem was expectations. Sony did set the wrong expectations. Keep in mind the last PlayStation showcase was 2 years ago. Yep, 2 years ago. And you were expecting something out of a PlayStation showcase. Now, what they did show was actually quite a bit of first-party titles, but from smaller studios, live service games, and, last but not least, a lot of cinematics, or not even that, just title drops. And even as a PlayStation user in the 3rd year of PlayStation 5, you don't really keep the people interested in that anymore. People have no expectations. They have enough games to keep them occupied at every single moment of their gaming life. So if you were coming in with a trailer for, what was it, Concord? Or even like the first, the Jade Raymond game, right? They showcased the Jade Raymond game, and it was only a cinematic. And people just saw it, and they were like, huh? Yeah, Fair Games. That was a weird thing. This is the Jade Raymond game. If you were like, who is Jade Raymond? She is the creator, well, one of the main creators of Assassin's Creed, the original, right? And then she left for some studios. She worked on EA, didn't really do much there, then left, and then she was making a new studio, and Sony was like, we buy you. We buy you. So now they introduce this, for better description, because we haven't seen anything, Payday? Basically Payday. And it's a live service game. It's a live service multiplayer. Let's have some Payday stuff going on here. And in itself, that's not a problem. But they should have set probably expectation. Keep in mind, this was the first thing they started with. This was the very first game without any introduction, just the first game you showcase. And to be honest, that's not too exciting. Now, I have to make something very clear, and I think people really have to get used to this. But we will see more of this. Smaller games, small studios, live service games, multiplayer, PvP games. We will see more of this. Why? Because PlayStation needs this. I know people don't want to hear that. People are like, no, PlayStation is about like my amazing story trailers, games. Oh my god, the next God of War, the next Last of Us. That's what I want. And it's like, yeah, you're not wrong. But those games are also becoming more and more expensive. And to finance that, they need those games who make them the money. They have to do what Xbox does. I know, like, especially Sony fans do not want to hear that ever, that anything PlayStation is doing is because Xbox is doing it. But that's the reality. Like, Xbox, as hilarious as it is, has basically figured out the broader market appeal, where PlayStation is, how to put it, PlayStation is the premium product, while Xbox is the everyone's darling. Or that's at least what they are trying to do. And PlayStation cannot let that happen. PlayStation cannot let that happen. So they have now to go. They have to go into a marketplace where Xbox has been doing some good steps in the right direction. right? Yeah, Xbox is the VW or the Toyota, while PlayStation is like the Mercedes kind of thingy, right? And so you want to keep that up. You need those small games which still have a potential to be quality. I'm not saying that those games are not quality. I'm not saying that. But you need the game to have the potential to attract a certain amount of gamers, which is them funneling back money into the company they can utilize for bigger projects. Marathon here, which was like one of the first, I think it was actually the first game Bungie ever did, is now a PvP extraction shooter. And people are like, ew, oh no, not another extraction shooter. Here's the thing though, when you say that, can I ask something? What is Escape from Tarkov? Explain to me exactly what Escape from Tarkov is. I wait. Because I guarantee you that the people who have never played Escape from Tarkov have heard about it, but they have absolutely no clue what it is. And the only people who kind of know what Escape from Tarkov is are the people who are playing Escape from Tarkov. And that's the thing, right? That means there is an unchecked potential for a game series people really look into. Right? Like, we haven't tapped into the extraction shooter genre as it is right now. Like, again, yes, everyone knows what Escape from Tarkov is, and everyone is like, holy shit, is Escape from Tarkov? But is Escape from Tarkov really successful outside of Escape from Tarkov? And the answer is no. I'm sorry, but no, it isn't. It really isn't. So I can see that they are going for this more. This was an announcement. If you want to see my unfiltered announcement to this and how am I squealing like a little girl, it's on YouTube. It's not ants. This is the Metal Gear Delta, they're calling it, Snake Eater reboot. No, they're not calling it 3, which makes kind of sense, because if you would release this, people would probably getting a little bit confused. To like, what? Why is it 3? Right. I get why they are calling it Delta. Also, I saw it the second time. But this is, like, when I saw this, I was like, shit, that's a tree frog. Right? I totally saw the tree frog. But yeah, also the parrot, right? I was thinking about the ant. But look in the background. I just saw that when I saw it the second time and when the quality was better. That's the Shaggerhort. That's the Shaggerhort being transported by the hind Ds in the background. It took me so long. It took me a second time to see it. But yeah, if you want to see my unfiltered, surprising Pikachu face and also screaming like a little girl, peeing myself a little bit, it's in my reaction channel. Yeah. It's pretty much there. That is also a big freaking snake, by the way. Oh yeah, like that reaction of mine was kind of sexual, just fair warning. But again, like, okay, we are getting a new Metal Gear. I saw a reaction earlier from 3 journalists from a pretty big website of video games going like, "Oh, who's that? Oh, wait, is that Snake? No, that's not Snake. He looks different. That's not Snake, isn't it? Yeah, who is that?" And I'm like, what the shit? Like, oh my god. Oh my god. But yeah, there is Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. They have also been announcing that this is of course not coming just to PlayStation. Like, as per usual, good old Sony is pretending as if they are the only platform who's getting this game. It is coming actually to PC, and yes, it's also coming to Xbox. And because it's coming to PC, yes, I will do a full playthrough of this. Yes, I have already announced this yesterday. It doesn't matter if I'm the only person who is sitting here on my stream and playing this because nobody wants to watch it. If it kills my channel, then it kills my channel, but I will play this. Yes. Yes. So that is happening. What is also happening, which is not here, that's interesting. They also announced that the collection, the Metal Gear collection, is coming to the platforms. And funny enough, Volume 1 of the collection has Metal Gear Solid 3 in it. So you're getting Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3 as an HD collection again. And it's like, that's a bit bizarre, but okay. So I'm actually kind of curious to see what they are doing. And yeah, again, we will do a playthrough of this. Prepare your butts. And if they should really like release all those games on the PC as well, we might actually plan a full playthrough. I haven't played the Metal Gear games in a very long time, and I've forgotten a lot of things, so should be fun. Yeah. Another game they announced, or well, not announced, finally showcased, was actually Dragon's Dogma. Dragon's Dogma 2 finally got the gameplay. Looks really good. Looks fantastic. I saw a lot of people who were very much confused because Dragon's Dogma, let's be real here, it's a niche RPG. A lot of people have never played it. And I always believed that Dragon's Dogma was the better Dragon Age game. Like, oh no, that's all right. Dragon Age 1 is amazing. And then Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition was less RPG and more like action, while Dragon's Dogma was very much an RPG. It was so much closer to be a real RPG in that regard, right? Like, yeah, it looks, they're showing like a lot of action scenes here. Well, let me tell you, Dragon's Dogma, all things considered, is a relatively slow game. Yeah. Again, looks fantastic. I am really looking forward to it. We will definitely play it when it comes out. And man, I'm hoping they're also going a little bit further with the multiplayer system. Also boobies. Yes. Some boobies there, some swings boobies right there. Very important. It looks great. No date, unfortunately. If you were hoping for like, oh god, do they have a release date? No, not even a release year. And you know what? I'm actually surprised that we saw this yesterday. I was not by any chance expecting this. because when they announced it last year, it sounded very much like that this game is still very on in development, and it seems that way. And I expect this the earliest in next year. Yeah, the earliest of next year. Will we do a Dragon's Dogma playthrough before this one's coming out? Probably not. It's a pretty long game and pretty in depth. I'm not sure I have the time for that. Yeah, probably not. And I hope this one is successful. I hope this game is successful because, well, Dragon's Dogma is now over a decade old. And interestingly enough, there are not a lot of Capcom RPGs. So I'm really hoping that Capcom finally gets like an RPG which is doing it for them. Because we cannot rely on Square Enix for that forever. Like, don't get me wrong, Final Fantasy 16 looks freaking amazing. But, you know, we are also getting this game. Yes, this game. If you have missed this, I'm still trying to kind of recover from this. So what this is Foam Stars. And it's literally Splatoon with foam. It's literally Splatoon. Like, they're not even trying to hide it. It's a rip-off of Splatoon without color but foam. And it's exclusively for PlayStation? Well, this is CGI, by the way, for everyone who's like, oh, this looks pretty. It's CGI. You will see the game in just a second here, which is now. This is the actual gameplay. Yeah, it's absolute Splatoon, right? I mean, yes, it does look prettier than Splatoon, but big woof. This is a PlayStation exclusive, and I'm not sure this would go anywhere. Sony really is looking for those multiplayer live service games they can put on the PlayStation. They need them so desperately. And so far, well, they haven't really found anything yet. But yeah, they are saying that this is indeed PlayStation exclusive. So it's like, funny. Okay. So this is a video. I will actually play with sound on a little bit. And then we have to talk about things. To make this very clear, this is also coming to all the other platforms.
I'm trapped here.
Right.
In this nightmare.
It looks
right to escape.
Freaking amazing.
Every word is a step forward. Into darkness.
Oh yeah.
You're on this case with me.
Game is not coming out on disc.
Right up your alley.
The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale.
So apparently Nightingale is Ledet, which is very curious, to say the least. If you don't know, Nightingale was the FBI agent in the first one who very much tried to kill Lake at some point. Wait, which one? You mean this one?
It's right up your alley.
That one? Are you, Chad, are you talking about that one? Or this one?
The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale.
No, that's Alan Wake's voice. That's literally the voice actor from Alan Wake. Like, it's the same voice actor. It's the same dude. They have the same dude who did Alan Wake, who played Alan Wake, who did the voice of Alan Wake from the first one in the second one. It's confirmed.
So you knew our victim?
Only the rumors. He was chasing a writer.
Someone knew they were here. Was playing a game with them.
Killer left a message.
It's for us. The tech.
What the fuck is going on here? So this is Max Payne. Like, this is Max Payne as a character. No, like I know there is Sam Lake, who is also looking like Max Payne, because that's what they did. They took Sam Lake, the writer of all the games, basically put them into the game and was like, you were in the game, right? This is why he looks like Sam Lake. But to take the confusion out of it, this is Max Payne as a character. So what the hell is Max Payne doing? Also, since when is he working with the FBI? Like, I am so confused. Yeah, this is apparently, from what we know, Max Payne. Like, not Sam Lake as a video game, like as a character, but actually Max Payne, the video game character, working on this. So that's very interesting.
Next is about us.
We were all trapped in...
Also, man, Keanu Reeves wants his look back. Like, shit. I can't unsee it. I cannot, like, this is...
A horror story. The horror story wanted us dead.
So this is interesting. Say hello to our new playable main character, it seems. We are playing as her. So that is very interesting.
There's something I'm forgetting.
And you're also playing Alan Wake.
Something's not right.
So apparently this time they are also going more into the survival horror area with this one.
Something's not right.
Right? Ah, damn it. There we go. It seems like this time they're trying to do it more. It looks really good. It looks really good.
Not right.
Easy now. First things first. What's your name?
Keanu Reeves. And October 17th. Yes, October 17th. So we have a Halloween game. I'm very happy about that, to say the least. And we will do a full playthrough of it. Yeah, we will see how much action there is and all that. We will see. We will see. We will see. But yeah, again, they made it also very clear in the announcement that this will not have a disc release. Yes. It will not even have a disc release on PlayStation. It's digital only. Because, well, they have an exclusive deal with Epic. Right. They have an exclusive deal with Epic, and everything is going through Epic. And if you are like, oh no, I'm waiting for the Steam release, ain't gonna happen. This game was funded by Epic. Like, this is not one of those Epic got like a little deal out of this. They funded the development of this game. Like, without Epic, there would not be an Alan Wake 2. So if you're waiting for the Steam version, good luck. Good luck. Oh, this is also coming to Xbox, by the way. I know they have conveniently cut that out, but it's confirmed by Xbox that, yes, this game is coming out to Xbox. So, just to make that clear. I know Sony is very... They like to put that fact behind something. Yeah. So that was definitely like some of the more crazy announcements they had yesterday, which made me really happy. But that was like the big announcements they had. There was one I found it very funny. This one is coming to PC and PlayStation. But man, I had to laugh. It was good, stupid joking. And I'm okay with that.
Super Earth. Our home.
Super Earth.
Our way of life. But freedom doesn't come free.
No! Sweet liberty! No!
Look familiar?
Yeah, it looks
Things like
familiar.
these are happening
Very
all
Starship
over the
Troopers.
galaxy right now. And you could be next. That is, unless you make the most important decision of your life. Prove to yourself that you have the strength and the courage to be free.
Be free.
Join the Helldivers.
I played the first Helldivers. It was okay. It was actually beloved by a lot of people. I think it was okay. Yeah, Starship Troopers, but this is Helldivers. The first one was pretty okay-ish. It was also top-down. This one is third-person now. And much, much bigger. Like, Helldivers was like... I think the studio behind this, Arrowhead, was like the first small studio Sony invested into, because they're like the game sold really well on the PlayStation. And it was one of those small indie games where Sony was just like, whoa! Right.
To spread prosperity, liberty, and democracy.
By bombing the shit out of others.
Become part of something larger than yourself. Become a hero.
Yeah.
Become a legend.
Like,
Become
cool.
a Helldiver.
Right. I found the humor funny.
They result in decapitation or mortification. Not all Helldivers survive.
No, they don't. It's like, it's one of those, oh yeah, stupid game. It doesn't have to be, like serious all the time. What else was announced? Oh yeah. I will not play that in the background, or I'm starting to cry again. But the new game of the Grease developers was announced. Neva. If you want to let your tears flow a little bit, you can watch the trailer of Neva. It's the new Grease game, and it pulls already all the heartstrings, and you just want to cry after the trailer. Have fun with that. But it looks fantastic, like hand-drawn, everything again. A little bit more action this time. And yeah, just, yeah. Speaking of pulling your heartstrings, you know, pulling your heartstrings, the new game by the creators of Journey and Apsu and Pathless was announced yesterday. This is also coming to multiple platforms as far as we know. And it looks, as always, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, very Journey-esque this time. You are skating, snowboarding on the desert, and you're trying to transform the desert into an ocean. I know that sounds interesting, but that's what you're trying to do. At least if we can take that here from the trailer, right? Again, visual-wise, wow. Wow. Like, just, wow. So, looking forward to that. Whatever that is. Yeah, Sword of the Sea. No, it's swordboarding. It's swordboarding. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, there was an interesting game they showcased I want to talk about briefly here. Well, they did show the Plucky Squire again. Looks fantastic. But there is one last game, which I think that flew kind of under the radar, because it looked very... Oh, there we go. And then it's not even playing. Thanks for that. It was really interesting. This came right after the Metal Gear announcement, so unfortunately a lot of people just glossed over it. But it seems like it's a world which got completely destroyed, and you are rebuilding it? Right? Like you're starting to rebuild it, you're starting to bring the animals back, and the flowers and all that. And so you're starting in this completely devastated world, and then you're building. And you see how like the world is changing because of your building efforts. You can see growing plants, bring back nature, bring back animals, and then you can also fly around. Like this look, this is one of those games where there is a promise, right? But they're not really showing too much. So it's this, we have an idea. We just don't know if it will work and how long it will take. Right? Yeah, this is called Towers. And it's just like, okay, how high is the chance that this is actually releasing? Oh boy. But yeah, that was like the most noteworthy games in the showcase. And again, people would be like, alright, well, that's not really a PlayStation showcase, isn't it? No, because most of the games, were not even PlayStation exclusive. So I can totally understand that people are a little bit pissed at Sony, but I also have to say, you will see more of this. Sony needs a constant flow of games, And developing the next God of War, the next Last of Us, takes like 5 years. 5 years. That's a long time. So they need things in between. And PlayStation fans have to realize that. They have to understand that. That they cannot just hope that every PlayStation showcase will be the next God of War, the next Last of Us, the next big bang game. Right? They need the investment, they need the money through other games, and they cannot always have the big bangs. I think it was an okay showcase. Again, they should have tempered the expectations a little bit because they called it a PlayStation Showcase instead of a State of Play, which is a marketing distinction for PlayStation. Then, of course, let's please not forget. Let's please not forget. PlayStation expectation from some of their fans is sometimes absolutely ridiculous. Too many people who believe the weirdest and craziest shit because they saw the leak. It's like, there is no leak. No, I saw the leak, bro. Trust me. Redditor 69420 Blazing told me that this is happening. That's interesting. Like, none of the leaks were right. None of the leaks. So, there's also a thing PlayStation fans really have to start doing. Like, stop believe every shitty leak you see from, like, especially the PlayStation community for years has this problem of some of their trusted leakers never being right, but they wish it so hard. They wish so hard for this finally to be true. It's like, okay. It's like the PlayStation community is sometimes setting them up for failure. Like failing their own expectations so much because they really want this unique thing to happen because it's PlayStation. It's like, no, it doesn't have to be that way, man. Like, just yeah. Just don't. So that's all I think I have to say about the PlayStation Showcase. I think it was a very middling showcase, but I also have to say, and this is the last thing I will say, if this would have been the Xbox Showcase instead, everyone would have ripped Xbox a new one for the next 5 days. We would see at least 10 videos per YouTube channel on why Xbox is just shit and why they have showcased again too much CGI trailers, not enough gameplay, even Halo couldn't save them. Like, there was so much of, if Xbox would have pulled this, oh boy, right? It's just, yeah. But with that said, we are done here with the showcase talk. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And make sure to like and to subscribe to the channel if you don't have done that already. And I'll see you next time. Till then, stay safe. Bye-bye. And there goes the YouTube video. Man, that was 40 minutes. Funny how that will go. Ooh, you got a new battery. Nice. That's always good. Yeah, look. I don't... Shouldn't it be the other way around, Chaos? When you had a lot of blockbusters and you normally deliver showcases which are, well, outstanding sometimes, shouldn't be the quality higher for what people can expect from you to deliver? So they should actually like be a little bit more stingy. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. Well, this this needs to be the somebody just outed themselves as a German who switched their keyboard and is now in English mode in their Windows because somebody did hit Shift and Control and shifted over. You have absolutely no clue. Like, seriously, you have no clue how this is always my biggest nightmare. That when I played a game where you use Shift and Control, that I actually accidentally shifted over to like the other keyboard layout and out myself as a freaking German in some conversations. You have no clue what type of nightmare scenario that is for me. Oh boy. Oh, then you have only one. You have only one keyboard layout then, I assume. Or that. Yeah. I'll disable the hotkeys. I should really do that. Because I definitely don't need that. It's stupid. Stupid. But yeah, it's like the nightmare scenario for me, believe me. It's really like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I didn't notice. Oh no. Yeah. But yeah, that was the big showcase. I was right. I was right. I think it was acceptable for what it was. Yeah. Like, you know. Oh. So it seems like Konami had to get out their first press release today regarding the Metal Gear Solid remake. And people have been really confused about why Metal Gear Solid 3 is now being called Metal Gear Solid Pyramid. And they had to put out an actual press release explaining that it is Delta and that the pyramid is the Delta symbol. And, you know, that is why they put it in there. Which is kind of funny because technically speaking, delta is not the third in the Greek alphabet, right? That is gamma. Delta is fourth. Like you have alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta. Oh good, now it gets a little bit eta, I think, theta, shit. I once had that, by the way. Iota, kappa. Yeah, kappa. Yes, kappa. Lambda, mu, nu. Xi. Shit. Okay, I'm now losing it a bit. I think it's Omicron after that, and after Omicron it's Pi. I would have to look it up. I would look to have it up. This is the part where it really like just falls apart and I'm looking like an idiot, so let's not try it. Nonetheless, the point is delta is not the number 3 in the Greek alphabet. And so I'm actually a little bit curious why they called it delta and not gamma, right? Right. So it's a bit interesting, but it is called delta. It's called delta. And it was apparently chosen because the meaning that the symbol has fits the concept of the remake project. They also made it very clear that the remake will feature the original voice actors. So that will happen again. They will all be back. And we still know exactly why it is called delta. Let me see. Is the collection? Yeah. No. Wait. Today, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eaters in production will release on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Steam. Why do they not say if the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection is actually coming to which platforms? That was annoys me a bit. The hell? Let me see.
Peggy.
Shut up. Yeah. That's odd. Let me see. I'm really trying to figure out if the collection is also coming to Steam. That is... like they're making it sound like it does. And it will come out in autumn. But it just doesn't say where. Let me see if there's something in the comments. Oh, they already announced that also with the collection, they will make slight changes. To the real life cutscenes. That they probably took them out. Like if you didn't know, especially Metal Gear Solid 3 had some real life like video stuff in it, like from the 60s and 50s and all that. And well, that's probably why the license did run out and why you cannot really buy those games anywhere anymore. Because the copyright did run out. Seems like they're just removing them. Let me see. Metal Gear. Can you get... My god. Metal Gear Survive is still $40? Are you shitting me? Metal Gear Solid. I don't think it's on the... Yeah, it's not on Steam yet. It's not on Steam yet. Okay. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh well. Oh my god, Metal Gear Solid 5 is nearly a decade old again? Are you shitting me? No way. What? Oh no, Ground Zeroes. Yeah, that came out like a year or two earlier. But Metal Gear Rising Revengeance came out 10 years ago. Fudge. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. Whatever. Anything else we have? We will not jump into gameplay anymore today. I just decided that, just to make that clear. La 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 la, lolly loo lay low. You know the lolly loo lay low. Yeah, we'll not do any gameplay anymore. I would just end a little bit sooner. Then we'll eat something and all that, and then prepare for the Warhammer Skulls, which is coming in 1.5 hours. Yeah, that would be the best. Sorry. I definitely want to... Like, we don't really have anything next week, right? Like, I want to continue Bolter. If you have missed me playing Bolter yesterday, man, that's a fun game. That's a fun game. Shit, that's a fun game. Also, it's an official sequel to Space Marines. Funny enough. It is an official sequel / prequel to Space Marine 2. Like, it continues the story and all, and basically bridges the gap between Space Marine and Space Marine 2. Didn't know that till I started the game. And then I knew. And then I was like, well, shit. And it's actually really fun. So, the things you learn. Let me see very quickly. Monday is a holiday. Oh yeah, you are right. Oh shit, I nearly forgot about that. Well, the good thing is, Monday I do not stream because all the YouTube stuff I have to do. Thankfully so. I didn't do a lot of YouTube this Monday because girlfriend was still there and I was a little bit occupied. And so yeah, I'm a little bit behind on my YouTube stuff this week. Sucks. Especially because it's like a pretty full week. No. But tomorrow, folks, tomorrow we are checking out Railway Empire 2 on the Mole Under Management channel. So there will be no Space Marine tomorrow. I can already tell you that. Yep. Railway Empire 2. The most brutal game you will ever experience on the Mole Under Management channel. And if you're like, huh? What the hell? I kid you not. The age rating is 12 plus in Germany because of violence. It's the German word for violence. And I'm like, hey, what? It's literally a game about building trains. What type of violence? Oh, I had to laugh so much when I saw that yesterday. It's pretty hilarious. But yeah, we are checking that out tomorrow, and then we are building some trains. Hey, I like trains. Yeah. Building some trains. So we will do that tomorrow on the Mole Under Management channel. Unfortunately, release is, as you can see, in 3 hours. Oh, no, it is. No, it's in 2 hours. Yeah. So it's in the evening. I don't have the time for that. I mean, yeah, getting hit by a train is probably hurting you pretty much, all things considered. Do we have anything else next week? All right, System Shock. No. 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 They also only call it System Shock Remastered, which I find interesting. No System Shock. I have no bigger interest into System Shock. Sorry. Like, I played the demo. I know it's a pre-thingy to BioShock, but yeah, seems like I'm not too interested into it. Sorry. And Tiny, eat your sarcasm. Yeah. I mean, next week there is Space Mechanics Simulator in Everdream Valley. Maybe we're checking that out next week. But to be honest, till Friday, it's just waiting for Diablo. So, you know, till then, I think we can finish Boltgun. Yeah, I think we can finish Boltgun till then. Should be possible. I mean, we have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Should be possible. Even for me, believe it or not. Eat your heart out. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a pretty good idea. And then Diablo is on Friday. Actually, it's on... okay, let me think something. It's on Thursday night. Oh, let me think of something. Nah. We will start on Friday. It's starting at 1 a.m. in the morning. I could do a midnight stream, but on the same end, nah. We would just do a morning stream. Yeah. I think that's fair enough. Alrighty. But with that said, I think I am donezo for now. And I will just come back in, well, actually about in an hour. I will come back in an hour, and then we will have the Warhammer Skulls showcase, which is probably going like half an hour. If by the way, quick note, if they're doing the same bullshit like last year, like 20 minutes of PC console games and then 20 minutes of mobile games, I will skip that mobile bullshit. I will not watch that. Like, if you're pumping me with like tons of mobile games for 20 minutes, I don't care. I don't give a shit about that. I'm sorry. Like, yeah. Just a quick warning. All right. Oh. Quick last announcement. It was just announced that on June 8th, when the Summer Game Fest is happening, you know, the Jeff Keighley show, Sam Lake will be there in person playing Alan Wake live on stage. So that's something to look forward for. Yup. So, Lake plays Wake. Yes. Yes. That should be an absolute hilarious moment and a meme for the ages. Here's the announcement for everyone who wants to see it. Yep. On June 8th, Sam Lake gives us the first look at raw gameplay of Alan Wake 2 live on stage. Yes. Should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Definitely. By the way, speaking of which, if we're on it, please make sure to check out our E3 schedule in the Discord. In my Discord, we have a schedule. We are already done with the PlayStation Showcase. Then we have the Scouts Showcase, which we are doing in about an hour. Then on June 8th, we have the Summer Game Fest at 12 p.m. What the hell? Oh, this is wrong. This should be EDT and this should be PDT. This is not right. This is mixed up. Which is at 9 p.m. my time. Then we have June 10th for the Future Games Show. Then on June 11th, we have so many things. We have the Xbox Games Showcase, then the Starfield Direct. Then we have the PC Gaming Show. And there might be another one, like the Devolver Direct even. On June 12th, we have Ubisoft Forward. And then we have Devolver and Nintendo somewhere in between. So prepare your butts for more games. Yes. Alright, with that said, I have to get out of here. I see you in about an hour for the Warhammer Skulls showcase for the Emperor. Or, well, if I don't have to pretend, all is dust. See you later. Bye-bye. Ka-ching! By the way, folks, as per usual, I will run some ads at the end of the show. If you want to support me and you are not already a subscriber to the channel, then I would appreciate if you might stay behind and watch some ads or let them run in the background. And then afterwards I will shut down the stream, because we are not showing any ads when there's gameplay or when we have some discussions going on. With that said, I see you in an hour. Alright folks, again, thank you so much for watching, and see you in an hour, and the Emperor protects. Till then, bye bye.